The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons and did him homage. Wishing to ask him for something, he said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Command that these two sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you're asking. Can you drink the chalice that I'm going to drink?" They said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but to sit on my right or on my left, there is not mine to give, but it is for those of whom it was being prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the two brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom of many." The Gospel of the Lord. Today it is a big feast of St. James, Santiago. Today, Spain, Santiago de Compostela, rejoice today. It's a town of Galicia in Spain. Amazing that this saint left so much legacy behind. And apparently he was the very first one to be chosen by Christ. And he was the first to be martyred also. So today when we focus on St. James' life, he was of a wealthy family, and apparently he got the call for the first one to be called. This is what they called James the Greater, because it was James the Lesser. So he's almost, say, the senior apostle, put it this way. But his life, it was a life of conversion. It was a life that he gave himself completely to his ministry, to the point he stood up to Herod Agrippa in Jerusalem. That's why he got decapitated, because he stood up for the faith. He did not turn down his faith. He did not move away, try to save his life. He gave his life to Christ. However, while he was alive, and his mother came to Jesus and asked Jesus, "Could you have my two sons close to you in the glory of that throne, of his throne?" And what Jesus said, "Would you drink the cup that I will drink?" He knew already the kind of death that James will go to give his life for Christ. Again, there's a message behind for us today, especially in the last verse. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. What a statement, huh? What a statement, to serve unconditional, to serve without reward, to serve without recognition, to serve without getting paid, to serve always from the heart, to stand up on what to believe in and not to expect nothing back. And that's what the message today for us. That human pride that we have, when we do something good, we need to be recognized, we need to be identified, you need to sit at the right of the whoever is in charge, and to be looked at, wow, look at this person, they do so much. Look at that person, how much he is in status quo. Jesus today said, this is the opposite, this is not it. That's not it. You want to come and follow me? Be the servant of the servants. Be the slave of others. Amazing the word slave and servant resonate on my ears yet. For the first day we gather at the seminary. And apparently, the priest in charge of getting us for the welcome for the first day sitting down, we're all a bunch of men sitting down, and the first word he said, you are here to be slave of the slave, the servant of the servant. If you can do it, the door is open. Just like that. Plain English. Again, it is not a diminutive, it is not a put down, it is a command, it is a call, it is something to follow Christ. It is not easy, it's not. To follow Christ is not to be recognized among, to be somebody special. It's not. Sometimes get off our head. And sometimes we see even deacon and priest and bishop sometimes. Their lack of humility. Their lack of, shall I say, even closeness to the people. Being close to the people. We see Pope Francis. We see St. John Paul II. How close they were with people. I saw a biography from Pope Francis before he was incarnate in Argentina. He walked among the people. He was the cardinal of Argentina. And he mingled with the people. And he went to people's home as a cardinal. And they love him dearly. That humility, that simplicity to be servant. None of us are greater than anybody else. No matter what position you are in, period. It's because what happened? You got your reward already. You got your reward already. So whatever we do good for others, in the name of Christ, for Christ, and with Christ, the reward are greater. Look how many saints they live with the poorest of the poor. To me, the name comes on my mind as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. She was living in a beautiful monastery in India, in Calcutta. You have all the comfort, all the food, all the hygiene, and you name it, she had it made. It was not the call. She went and worked on the slum of Calcutta. Never desired recognition. When the community said, listen, Teresa, you need to be organized. You need to have a staff to take care of it. We need to just put in paper. He said, I don't want none of that. I need to serve. I don't want no staff. I don't want no recognition. When she was invited in Europe to get the Nobel Prize, the first thing she asked when she was sitting down at the table, she said, how much this meal will cost? Amazing. If you see her biography, it's one amazing saint. And she said, the money you pay me for this, I could feed maybe 100 families. Wow, what an example of humility, huh? So my dear brothers and sisters, today it is amazing to see a great saint, St. James, the greater, not the great, the greater. His life, his legacy, and what left behind. Today when we receive the Holy Eucharist, what are you going to do with the Jesus when we receive Christ? Are we going to drink into it, keep him inside, and continue for the day with a humble attitude, and to bring Christ to others with so much love and so much care? Amen.